The year, 1950. The world is just 5 years out of the most devastating wars in human history, and it's the middle of the Cold War. On the Korean Peninsula, things are heating up, fast. North Korea, backed by the Soviet Union and China, just invaded South Korea, leaving chaos and destruction in its path. South Korea is on the brink of collapse. Now, enter the United Nations, a young organization just 5 years old, with one burning question on its hands. Should it act to stop this invasion or stay on the sidelines? Spoiler alert, it acted. And on that decision, embodied by UN Security Council Resolution 83, it would go on to shape the Korean War and set a precedent for global intervention. Hey, I'm Andrew, and today I'll be exploring how this one resolution turned the Korean conflict into a global war. My research question is simple. How did Resolution 83 internationalize the war, change its trajectory, and establish the UN's role in managing global conflicts? To understand why Resolution 83 mattered, we need to set the stage. Let's rewind back to June 25th, 1950. North Korea, under Kim Il-sung, decided it's tired of the dividing line at the 38th parallel. They launch a full-scale invasion of South Korea with Soviet-made tanks and weapons, catching the South completely off guard. Within days, the North takes Seoul, South Korea's capital. The South Korean military is outmatched and underprepared. Civilians flee in terror as the North pushes southward. It's a humanitarian and military disaster in the making. Meanwhile, the world is watching. For the United States and its allies, this isn't just an invasion, it's a test. The Cold War is in full motion, and they see the conflict as part of the larger battle between democracy and communism. Now here's a historical reenactment of what happened during that UN Security Council meeting. Alright guys, here's the deal. North Korea just went into South Korea like it's their own backyard. We've got to stop them. I'm proposing Resolution 83. Let's send military aid to South Korea. United Kingdom? Hear, hear, quite right. France? Oui, oui. US? Yep, darn tootin'. Oh god, Russia's gonna veto it, aren't they? USSR? USSR? Hey, he's not here. By golly, you're right. Where is the Soviet Union? Perhaps they're fashionably late. Oh, I think they're boycotting us. Boycotting? Over what? Taiwan. They're mad we're recognizing the nationalist government as China instead of Mao's communist regime. So they've been storming off in protest. Wait, so they're not here? Exactly. No Soviet Union means no veto. It's like Christmas in June. Capital. Let's get this resolution passed before they realize their mistake. Well, it's a vote. Resolution 83. Passed unanimously. So on June 27th, 1950, the UN Security Council adopts Resolution 83, recommending its member states to provide military support to South Korea. With the Soviet Union boycotting the council at the time, the resolution passes without any veto. It's official. The UN is going to war. So what did Resolution 83 actually do? Well, for starters, it turned the Korean conflict into a global effort. This wasn't just the United States stepping in to play the hero. 16 countries sent troops, and 5 more provided resources. Picture this: soldiers from Turkey, the United Kingdom, Canada, Ethiopia, and even Luxembourg, all working together in a conflict thousands of miles away. This was unprecedented. Never before had the UN mobilized such a diverse team of countries. The goal was clear: stop the North Korean advance and restore peace in the region. But pulling it off wasn't easy. The coordination challenges were massive. Different languages, military strategies, and even cultural differences made this one of the most complex operations in history. And then there was the role of the United States. While it was technically a UN operation, let's be honest, America was leading the charge. General Douglas MacArthur, already a legend from World War II, became the face of the operation. His bold strategies, like the famous Incheon landing, were key turning points that wouldn't have been possible without the international support of Resolution 83. One of the most dramatic moments in the Korean War came in September 1950 with the Incheon landing. MacArthur's risky assault recaptured Seoul and pushed the North Koreans back past the 30th parallel. For a moment, it looked like victory was in their sight, but then things got complicated. After their victory, the UN forces pushed into North Korea, wanting to reunify the peninsula under a democratic government. This move triggered China to enter the war, sending hundreds of thousands of troops to aid North Korea. The conflict escalated, and suddenly, what started as a regional battle became a much larger and deadlier conflict. Resolution 83 has effectively internationalized the war, and while this brought resources and manpower, it also raised the stakes. The Korean War wasn't just about Korea anymore. It was a proxy war between the world's largest powers, and that's exactly what the Cold War was about. So, why does any of this matter? First, let's talk about South Korea. Resolution 83 helped save the country, and without the UN's intervention, it's likely North Korea would have taken over the entire peninsula. Today, South Korea is a thriving democracy and a global economic powerhouse. Next, this resolution set a precedent. It was the first time the UN authorized military intervention on this scale. Sure, it wasn't perfect, there was plenty of problems, but it showed the world that the UN could act decisively in the face of aggression. And finally, it changed the Cold War. The Korean War became a symbol of the global struggle between capitalism and communism. It set the tone for future conflicts, from Vietnam to Afghanistan, where the US and its allies would face off against communist powers yet again. So, to answer my research question, the resolution had three major effects. First, it turned the Korean conflict into an international war by creating a team of a diverse set of countries, all working together towards a focused cause. Second, it brought the resources and manpower needed to effectively push back the North Korean invasion. And third, it set a lasting precedent for UN military intervention, showing how collective action could shape global conflicts. Without Resolution 83, the Korean War and the role of the UN could look very different today. In the end, Resolution 83 wasn't just about stopping an invasion. It was about defining the UN's role in global peacekeeping. It showed that even in the chaos of war, nations can come together to defend peace and freedom. Today, South Korea is a symbol to what Resolution 83 has achieved. It's proof that teamwork, even in the darkest times, can create a brighter future. Thank you for watching.